Who's got the best idea? There you go. Hey, Tony. What's going on, man? Welcome to another buzz on. Get my buzz on in or out of sobriety.
Well, let's
I'm gonna
keep it
stay
in sobriety.
I'm going to stay in. I do not. This is not for going out, huh?
No, going out just doesn't seem like any fun to me. I watch people coming in that have been out, and none of them come in happy.
Yeah.
They all come in miserable, just as we came in miserable,
Yeah.
and hating the world and hating ourselves. And I remember that, and I remember getting sober, going, God, this feels like crap. I don't
Yeah.
ever want to do that again.
Yeah.
People ask me, how do you stay sober? I remember what it was like not being sober.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to stay sober.
Today's topic here is step 3, and I don't know, insanity. I don't talk about the insanity of that first drink again. How does somebody step on back after doing a step 3, turn it over, actually trusting it, getting good things in return? That's not my idea, and then suddenly taking it back. Isn't that?
I think they didn't really
about?
turn it over. So the ego's a tough thing, right? You always want to own everything. You want to be in charge. You want to have your idea, your plan working. And until you realize you're not driving this bus, and every time you take the wheel, it goes off a cliff, and it's hard to sit back and let go.
Yeah.
And especially new in sobriety, when you say, I turn my will and my life over to the power of God that I understand, some people say, yeah, I did that, but did they really? Faith is a tough thing.
Well, I think the key word for me is care. Because I can maybe make, I have 3 crazy decisions in front of me.
Right.
Those are easy to make, but then there's a sober decision.
Right.
And I don't want to do it.
Right. 'Cause
I'd rather
it's hard.
try these 3 crazy ones.
Right.
And the care, from my head, the 3 crazy ones seem like careful. The sober ones, like, no, that's not going to. That didn't sound very careful for me. Like,
it sounds hard.
It sounds hard, and it's not. And there's nothing good coming.
Right. I have to grow. Wait a minute.
I have to grow. Is the care of a higher power? Are you sure about that?
Yeah. How is he caring for me when that happens? I get it.
I got to get up early. I got to send out more resumes I don't want to send out.
Right.
That's
I've got to go talk
part.
to humans that I don't want to talk to. What do you mean I got to call other alcoholics every day?
I don't want to do that.
Right.
I don't want to do that. And I don't want to share this secret that's suddenly kind of hard for me to share. And suddenly you've suggested I do it because you did it.
Right.
Like, nah.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to carry my baggage. Thank you.
But what happens when we do? And we go through that pain,
Oh, the freedom is incredible.
Yeah.
I remember having a moment of clarity when I had to realize that, wow, I don't have to make any more bad decisions. I can ask for help at any time I want from other people that actually care about my well-being and not how much money I have.
Yeah.
Or am I buying them drinks or, but really genuine people all sharing a struggle. And I can call you or anybody and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And you can sit there with a cold voice and say, no, that's not happening.
Well, and I think and I think in Alcoholics Anonymous sometimes there's a little bit of this maybe over-dependence on a sponsor sometimes when I think about this step. Because I've seen folks apply psychotherapy to AA and it's like, no, that's not it. And it's not like I'm going to my therapist, what do I do about my relationship? And then you say it.
Right.
It's more like we have a conversation and then in my heart, because I remember hearing this from our sponsor back in the day, and it was good advice. Not what I think, what do you think? It's what do I think, truly? Not with 20 people and a sponsor and all that. And that takes time because I didn't really trust what I was saying in my heart, I'd journal it, I'd write, I go, nah, I don't know. But after I talked to Tony, even for 5 minutes, suddenly it's clear. It's clear.
Well, I think the whole deal with sponsorship is it's a tool, not your only tool. I have newcomers that call me and only call me. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You need to have a network. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Then what? You going to go out?
Yeah, right.
They
do.
Yeah,
they do.
And I encourage people, and I'm like, wait, you would call the drug dealer 10 times a day, and people you didn't know to set up whatever. You'd go to the liquor store, you'd manipulate people to get what you wanted, but you have a problem in sobriety calling somebody who's also in sobriety?
Yeah, new. I don't want to do it.
Because, that's back to the third step. I don't want to turn my will and my life over.
No.
I'm not taking suggestion.
God, I love this program.
So when you do that, though, the freedom you get is, oh my God, I can call anybody at any time, whether they know me or not, and say, hey, this is Tony from AA or
I
Tony
come from Kansas
H&I.
City. I come from, I'm a farmer in Iowa.
Who cares? We have the
cares?
same problem.
Yeah.
It's why I tell people why I love the other programs, AA, NA, CA, they're all great. But AA is the Chevy. Everybody can work on a Chevy. When
Yeah.
you say AA, everybody who's in AA and everybody who's in recovery understands the 12 steps and understands, I know what you need.
And I know the ego doesn't want to do that. The ego wants
No.
to go, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a computer person. I'm not in tech. He's not going to understand.
Right.
Well, if you share your feelings,
Instead of your ideas.
my background,
Right.
where I come from.
My resume.
I come from Chicago. I come from...
How much money I have.
How
Well,
much?
look at
You
me.
don't understand. I made blah, blah, blah. I can understand your feelings.
Right.
I don't care who you are.
If
Universal.
you strip away the ego and can get honest, is where sobriety and solution come from. And I think a lot of people that struggle are not willing to freely give themselves to this simple program. As we say in our preamble, it's what it is.
Yeah.
And the thing people understand is you don't pay for it, right? It's not,
No,
I'm going to write
I
a
know.
check, because
I know.
people think if I bought it, it's going to work for me. That's why diets don't work. That's why exercise programs don't work. You can spend money, doesn't mean you don't have to do the work.
That's right.
This is no money, which throws people off. Well, I have people incarcerated say, what do they pay you to come in here? Now, dude, you don't understand.
Oh, golly.
I'm getting my buzz on seeing you miserable in jail because I've been there.
Yeah,
and
I've
I
been there.
know that if we work together, we can have a better day tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And it cements, too. I feel like, Jake Elwood coming out of the prison when the doors open and I walk out, I'm like, I'm free. And I actually had a sheriff escort me. So I had a deputy take his time to walk me through
That's so funny.
versus me getting incarcerated with my Cal State Fullerton ID confiscated.
Oh, that's so funny.
And so I don't understand it. What's in it for me? Everything. I have a life. I have a freedom. Back to a step 3. Turn it over. And to me, and it's in the 12 and 12. They say the effectiveness of the whole AA program is based upon that step.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is the component of you do a thing, and I know I'm on the right track. I used to know I was on the right track when I stepped foot into High Times in Costa Mesa. I knew I was on the right path. I was walking the path of my wine bottles in there. I mean, that place is like a walk-in warehouse of wine.
It's a gold mine.
It's a gold mine. And now I feel that way about Alcoholics Anonymous. When I go to I was so mad. I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't get to the mustard seed, and it just didn't work out with young kids and all that. But that blows my mind. Like, that's where my head is at. And that, to me, shows the effectiveness of this program for me to be sober and happy and peaceful and have a little serenity.
Well, I never had a group that I could talk to while I was drinking, except to talk about where we're going to go drink.
Right.
And like tonight, I'm speaking tonight in Tustin, and we have a group called Shut Up and Get in the Car, because a lot of newcomers,
Yeah,
and when
and
you
George
tell them
do
we're
that.
going to a meeting, they're like, where are we going? What time is it? Shut up and get in the car. That's all we tell them. We're meeting over here at 6, shut up and get in the car.
Yeah.
And people show up not knowing anything, and then they realize it's just a bunch of regular group of folks, men and women, who are sharing their experience, strength, and hope. We have some dinner, we go to the meeting, we have some laughs, and hopefully, people will learn to trust and turn it over, because a lot of life is, I don't believe you until I see it. Mm-hmm. And I get that. I was that way, right? I had to burn everything down because I didn't believe anybody until I saw it for myself. Getting people to turn over means they can see your trust
Yeah.
in letting go,
Right.
and that you don't have a care, and that you put your faith and your trust in all these people in this program. People always come to me and say, how did I do it? I worked at it, but I never tried to take it back. I gave it up and felt so free. I got 400 pounds of baggage off of my shoulders.
know.
And I'm so drama adverse now. I know you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People come with drama. I'm like, save that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the third step, if you can do that and truly in your heart let it go and understand that there's no book to balance. You can't take everything bad you did and try to do everything good to balance it. You have to drop all that bad
That's a
and
great
start
point.
over. And You know, it's like when you lay in bed and you say, "Am I going to die?" And
So
God
many
laughs.
die, like-
Yeah, but God laughs and says, "No, you're going to live, and you're going to tell everybody how you lived."
Yeah.
And you're thinking, "You sure I can't die?"
Yeah. No.
And now I'm so grateful that I have that opportunity. But early in sobriety, I was like, I could have taken the death part. It would have been easier.
Yeah.
Today, to turn it over, if you truly let go and let God and trust your fellow man, your life becomes incredible because you don't have to drive.
Yeah.
You have a chauffeur for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Well, and I think I think there's a forgiveness too. You know, and I hear it what you're saying there. Like, I had it too. Like, you know, I'm $100,000 in debt. I must pay it all back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all.
No,
You
let
know,
it
it's like
go.
I can forgive and understand I was sick. And the things I did were not intention. If I was sober, I didn't intend to.
Right.
Which to me beautifully leads into step 4.
And you have to forgive yourself. So many people carry this guilt of lost relationships, lost family. Everything comes back to you that should in time, but you didn't get here in 5 minutes. You're not going to get it back in 5 minutes. It's years.
Yeah.
And I tell people, especially newcomers, how long are you going to beat yourself up over this? You can't fix what's already done is done. You have two choices. Stay and wallow or move forward. You can't go forward looking in a mirror. Looking backwards, you can't
And
go
one
forward.
thing I love with the action, the going forward with other drunks, we can go forward together.
Right.
You know, that whole get in the car thing. You know, I was listening to a guy last night. He was in Germany and drinking, and you know, his get in the car was drinking. He woke up, you know, in a blackout in a laundromat underneath the freezing cold laundromat in Germany in winter. You know, and I laugh and I think an alcoholic with the insane mind is like, yeah, that's fine. Now, an alcoholic who's a little sober, who's still insane, get in the car. I don't want to go to the laundromat. We're not going to the frozen ass laundromat. we're not going to jail.
Not that car.
Right?
That's true. Because how many times have you gotten in the car and gone, oh, this is the wrong choice?
And now you get to go and have fun and laugh and
That's great.
get a buzz on, dude.
Yeah, because
So-
last time I heard get in the car, I had my hands behind my back and they're pushing down on my head. That was get in the car.
oh, so good.
I hadn't thought about that. I guess I'll have to share that with my group tonight.
You better.
Because I remember Tustin PD pushing my head down with my handcuffs on. Get in
Really?
the car.
Oh, that's a riot. That is a part of.
Think
That's a
about it.
part of the whole. See the collaboration, the
God,
magic.
that's been 34 years ago, and I just
You
totally
you
fell out
you
of my
got that back. Get it. Gonna do
That's some great
two
stuff.
photos. Your PowerPoint next PowerPoint.
Get the
presentation.
car, not that car. We're not getting in that car. We're getting in the good car. No handcuffs required.
Oh, dude, it's so good, dude.
I tell you what, man. You know, if more people would just spend a little time with another human to take 20 minutes like we do
I know.
to share these little steps and have some fun. I'm sorry, guys. If you're not feeling this, you're missing the boat. Really, you are, because this is this two guys talking, and one step at a time, one day at a time. And can you tell we're having a little fun?
Yeah, I know.
I'm
It's here
enjoying
for
it.
you, and it's here for you. You know, and we care. You know, I tell you, the longer I stick around, the old stuff really hits me so hard. The we care. You know, we care, and I
The other
and I
thing
know
that-
you don't believe it. I know you don't believe it.
Right.
But we care. We do.
And the other thing that gets me is I can't, we can.
Yeah.
That's always been a favorite of mine because people always want to be alone going against the hurricane.
I know.
Hey, get a team.
I know.
And, you know.
Have you been through some rough stuff in sobriety, Tony?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Fuck.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
And the
Did
difference
you do it
is-
alone?
No.
Like you were 25 years
no.
old?
Are you kidding me? I helped people parachuted into my house 3 days after Christmas. My daughter got hit by that car.
I know.
I mean, I had 2 weeks of surrounding me because I was incapable of functioning as a human.
Yeah.
But I made the call. That's the difference is you have to put your ego aside and understand that in time, we all need help.
Yeah. Everyone.
And if you think you don't need help, you're still not getting it.
Yeah.
We all need help.
Yeah.
So, and we're here to help you.
Yeah.
No questions, no conditions. You know, we're there.
And the secret twist too, for anyone listening to this, because I'd always hear stuff like that. I go, "Oh man, I don't want to call these people. I don't want to talk about a step 3." Guess what? That dude you're calling, I don't care if he's 40 years, 100, 80 years sober. Are there any left? But
Right.
anybody who that amount of time or whatever the situation is, you are helping them. When they pick the phone up and they hear, and guess what? Your problems, if they can't handle it or that's enough time, they'll tell you so, you know? In other words, anyway, but you help that other drunk, that other person who's sober. They feel it, they get it.
And they get their buzz on.
They get their buzz on because they hang the phone up like, oh my God, I was 30 days sober, 60, or going through a divorce or through a business change or for a family change or a death of a thing. And, you know, so
it's so easy to pick up the phone. And yet so many people won't do it because they're afraid of rejection. And the funny part is, I need to know there's still struggles out there because it reminds me that I'm in the right place. If I went to jail and there was nobody in jail for alcohol and dope, and they found some miraculous
all gone.
cure.
Are they all gone?
Yeah, and then you'd be like, oh, damn, I got sober too early.
Yeah.
Right? I missed the
No,
boat.
I
I could have
didn't.
just taken this magic pill. But now that I see that the struggle's still real, and when people call me that have 10 years, 20 years of sobriety in a struggle, because life happens. Just because you're sober doesn't mean life doesn't happen. And sometimes life is bitter.
Yeah.
And you have to rely on your network. If you don't have a network, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, we got a storm coming tomorrow, big storm, right?
Hillary, here we go.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're a village,
Oh,
right? And it's you need to understand you're not going to stand out in the middle of a storm by yourself going, come on, bring it.
Yeah.
You're going to huddle together with your family and hunker down and go through it. It will pass.
Yeah.
Like anything in life, whatever you're feeling will pass.
Yeah.
You have to trust it.
Yeah.
And if you don't turn it over, you try to own it all, you can't.
Yeah.
Because you're going to want to manipulate and control an outcome you have no possibility of controlling.
Yeah,
And then
right.
you're going to have disappointment when it doesn't go your way. Instead of, hey, I'm
And then,
going to do the next
and then
thing
what do I
is
do when it doesn't go my way?
take a drink.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to take a drink in advance because I knew it was going to go off the rails at some point. Hey, this is a great idea.
You
I
hedge
know,
your
but it's going to
bets.
go off the rails.
Well, just like I said, I have three crazy ideas, and help me pick one of these three crazy. Tony, you made this other suggestion.
I'm not doing that.
Fuck that.
No, that's too hard. That's too hard. I want to do one of these crazies, right? And then if those three don't work, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, we didn't do this one, but I got. What do you think, Tony? Which one do I do?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to work through my progressions, but that sobriety thing, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it's a hard thing. And I think the other thing people forget is just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should. And sometimes you need somebody to give you a pause to say, hey, I understand you're on a roll, you're running 900 miles an hour, but you're going the wrong way. And you need to be able to take that and go, oh, maybe I am.
It's true.
Because sometimes in our love for the program or our love for a fellow man, we forget the overarching reason we're here, which is to stay sober.
Yeah.
And
Above all costs.
of all
Above all, you hit
And sometimes we get the forest through the trees, and you need to bounce ideas off of people, especially major ideas, you need to bounce it and say, hey, I got this going on, what do you think?
But I really don't have any real true feedback on it. I get what I'm hearing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that should take that to somewhere else.
Right.
And that's where I think the primary purpose of sobriety go, well, this thing impact your sobriety or your serenity, which may impact your drinking component. Right. Now we have a conversation.
That's exactly right.
This is going to make me incredibly stressed out, or I'm going to take on all this. I go, should we? Do you think that's a great move?
Right. Or I'm moving from my area of Orange County to Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, right.
And I'm freaking out because I have no network. What do I do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you should start going to online Wichita, Kansas meetings and building a network before you move.
Beautiful.
Things like that.
Yeah.
I had somebody move there, and he called me saying, I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. I'm like, dude, there's a network everywhere. Let's find one for you. And we got on the phone.
And you call me when you're done.
Yeah.
Call me. I always love that one. Call me after you went to that meeting. Yeah. You know, because they're grinding on, well, that's not the right one. Are they smoking at this one? And just go, dude.
Dude, it's like church. You take what you want, you leave the rest. You're not there to take it all. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
None of us are perfect. You're not going to go to a perfect meeting. You're going to go around till you find your groove where people have what you want and are growing in a direction that you want to go.
Yeah.
And if you're the one who's the big fish in a small pond, you're in the wrong pond, you need to go to another meeting. I see a lot of idol worship from new people that are sober 4 or 5 years. Oh, I've got all these newcomers. Okay, how many old timers do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know any, right? Because you're getting these newcomers to worship you like an idol, and that is fulfilling you, but it's not helping your sobriety.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, if you have a newcomer, you need to have a couple old timers, and you have to have a balance. I need to go where somebody who knows more than me is talking. I don't want to go where I know everything, because I don't learn a damn thing. And some people can share and educate. Some people share to commiserate. I try to stick with the people that share, that tell life stories that I can take something from to go, oh, okay, I get that.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear about how your trip to Africa went on your safari and how the butler didn't do his job. That is not relevant to me. I want to know how you're feeling. And I want to know your life experience and how you dealt with these things, because they're going to come in my life. So turn it over, let it go, and trust in your fellow man and your fellow alcoholic. We are here to help. We've all been through whatever you're going through.
Yeah.
And we're everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to reach out.
Yeah.
You suffer in silence by choice.
Yep.
If you would just let your ego down for a minute or two and talk to one of us, I can assure you your life will get better in more ways than you know.
Beautiful conversation, Tony. God bless you.
I had a great time, buddy. Good to see you again.
Always.
We'll do it again real soon.
We're
Step 4 next time.
Yeah.
Woo!
Let's see how we survive the hurricane. We'll share about that.
If we're all here after tomorrow, we'll share another post next week.
We'll
you
be
guys
fine
be good.
and sober.
We're getting our buzz on in sobriety.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Tony.
See ya.